Cable Bahamas has always been considered the innovator.
People can have confidence in Cable Bahamas as a mobile operator because of our past history. We've proven to the Bahamian community that we are in fact able to manage additional services as a telecommunications company.
Customers expect the best from Cable Bahamas.
The technology that we bring is revolutionary technology because we know that the Bahamian public, they deserve it, and Cable Bahamas is here to bring it to them.
We are ready. Turn us on.
Another day, another BEC blackout cripples the capital. The Police Staff Association seeking legal advice over reported poor working conditions for officers. COB's college chairman addresses tuition increase concerns, plus millions more invested in the fight against international crime. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and NV12 starts right now. Tens of thousands of BC customers went most of the day without power following an engine failure at the Clifton Pier plant. New Providence residents and business owners say all they want is relief. While officials say the power failure was not island-wide, they do admit the extent of the outage was significant. Kyle Joaquin reports.
The summer months may not be here as yet, but the heat sure is. And what's not helping the situation is that some residents here in New Providence are having to endure rolling blackouts, all the result of BEC experiencing some major troubles once again. A downed engine at Clifton is to blame for this latest round of power outages. According to BEC Executive Chairman Leslie Miller, a 26-megawatt engine at Clifton tripped, and workers have been trying to get it back on. Now, while it's unclear if this caused an island-wide outage, Miller indicated that it was significant. In addition to that failed engine at Clifton, one of the major engines at BEC's Blue Hills plant that sparked the last island-wide outage, according to Miller, is still down, only compounding the issue. Blackouts have somewhat become the norm as there have been several over the past few months. Today, Miller described BEC as on the borderline and in bad shape. If you drove past any homes or businesses today, you would have noticed several of them with the doors swinging open, an attempt to get relief from the heat. Ria Trico owns a clothing store called Tiara's Collection along Market Street. She said she's gotten tired of calling BEC and complaining about the frequent outages.
This is the fourth time current been off for this morning. You know, and it's very hot, and they just can't seem to keep your light on.
How is it affecting your business?
Well, it's very dark inside, so I don't have no business right now.
Lillian Delaveau of JR Discount said their power went off more than 6 times during the day. And aside from sitting in the heat all day, even when customers walk in the store, she said, they can't complete any transactions without power.
Once the current is off, everything in our shop is off. The computers are off, the phones are off, everything is down. So we're losing a lot of sales. Our customers, when they come in, they're uncomfortable because once the current is off, everything is off, the air condition.
President of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, Paul Maynard, says things won't get any better until BEC brings in new equipment. He also said consumers should prepare for load shedding to continue throughout the coming days.
Until we change the fuel and change the engines, we're going to continue to have this problem.
Maynard said the outage many residents in western New Providence experienced Monday had nothing to do with the failed engine at Clifton, though.
West Ridge, etc. That's happening as a result of some problems that we have. But, you know, I spoke to the GM this morning. With a view to helping the corporation. He's taken our recommendations and he's dealing with it. So that should end in short order.
The BEC chairman recently informed us of an $8 million investment the company is making in rental generators for the summer. They're anticipated to arrive sometime this week. But in the meantime, the crew at JR Discounts has one request of BEC.
Every year, every summer, we experiencing this. They have to do better.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
A year and a half after mold remediation experts found that officers at multiple police stations in New Providence are working in conditions that could pose health risks. The Police Staff Association says it's seeking legal advice on the matter. Executive Chairman Dwight Smith said he fears poor working conditions could lead to low performance, severe mood swings, impaired judgment, and excessive use of force by officers. Vonnie Toot reports.
Amid controversy surrounding government's decision to withhold a report on the Rubis fuel leak, the PSA is sounding the alarm on yet another report which executives say government has failed to act on. Executive Chairman Dwight Smith says a report was completed a year and a half ago and highlights threats to the health and safety of police officers at several stations.
It is for the love of country that officers are willing to sacrifice their health and safety just to keep our land safe, despite any warning signs caused by them working in a mold-infected environment.
In 2013, Clear Solutions Plus said in its report, "We have concluded our mold site inspection at numerous police stations throughout New Providence and found a significant amount of mold present throughout the buildings. Also, significant amounts of dirt and dust were found on the interior and exterior of the air duct systems."
An officer who is sick shows low performance while on duty or off duty. Performance and health issues such as have impaired judgment, increase in and presence of severe mood swings, impaired eye-hand coordination, increased anxiety or depression, inappropriate reaction to a situation. In other words, the excessive use of force.
The report called for prompt attention at over 20 stations, including Police Headquarters, Drug Enforcement Unit, Central Detective Unit, the Police Training College, and Grove Police Station. Maria Daxon, who works at the Grove Station, produced doctor's letters, several inhalers, and other medication, which she says she is forced to take as a result of the mold-infested buildings.
This one in the middle of the day, this one in the night, and I have to wear a mask to sleep in. I cannot sleep unless I have on a mask.
In 2013, the total cost of remediation was listed at $187,275. Smith said he appealed to his superiors for urgent action on this matter on 3 occasions, but remediation has yet to take place. He says the PSA is now speaking with its attorneys. NCTU President John Pinder says the PSA has their full support.
Well, we've always been seeking legal advice because medical bills need to be paid and these conditions continue.
Certainly, it is important for the government, when they have this type of information, to bring it forward to people in a timely fashion so that people can make the necessary adjustments.
Calls to Commissioner of Police Allison Greenslade for comment were not returned up to news time. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
Marco City MP Greg Moss is calling on the Auditor General to present the auditor's report on the urban renewal program to the Speaker of the House of Assembly immediately. Moss said he is very concerned about the findings and revealed he has experience with urban renewal's irregularity. Simone Davis reports.
One of the findings in the report is that repairs to some homes as part of the Small Homes Repairs Project were either not completed or never started, despite money being paid out to contractors. Moss said he has first-hand experience with urban renewal in Grand Bahama, where a constituent of his was unable to get a home repaired through urban renewal.
I myself have an experience with urban renewal in Grand Bahama, where a certain constituent of mine was unable to get a home repaired through urban renewal, and came to me after 2 years of trying to get it repaired, and I actually took money out of my constituency allowance to repair it, only to be told by the public treasury when I went to get the check that that money had already been allocated for that home, spent on that home. A report had already been obtained from a government assessor on that home showing the home was repaired, and in fact nothing had been done on that home. And so I share the same concern.
He said he went back to look at that specific home to ensure that he was not mistaken. And although money was taken out of the public treasury and paid to urban renewal for repairs for that home, no repairs had been done.
On paper, it had been completed on paper. The assessor's report was in. On paper, the check was gone and had been cashed. In the private sector, that would be stealing by reason of employment. That would be a crime, and in the public sector is no less a crime. And so I am anxiously awaiting a full report from the Auditor General on urban renewal.
The Auditor General's report into the SHR program revealed that 11 contractors were paid $171,000 for work that was either incomplete or never done. Auditor General Terence Bastian also noted that his team visited those homes. Moss also said he was very disappointed by the response from Urban Renewal Commission co-chairs Algernon Allen and Cynthia Mother Pratt, who refused to appear before the Public Accounts Committee last week Thursday after being requested to appear.
The second point to me is the response by government functionaries to a report from the Auditor General, even if that report is in a preliminary fashion. We don't have a choice of whether we obey the law in this country. As I've said in the House before, either we're dealing with the rule of politicians or we're dealing with the rule of law. Assuming that we're dealing with the rule of law, once a report is laid, those persons who are required to attend before a Public Accounts Committee attend. There's no deliberation of whether you attend. There's no choice of whether you attend. And this is not something that's partisan. This is not something that redounds around party politics. You attend or you're summoned, and if you don't attend, then the proper course should be followed. But people should not believe that they have this right to decide whether they comport themselves within the confines of the law.
The Marco City MP agreed that the report should be tabled, citing Article 136 of the Constitution, which states that the Auditor General's audit be submitted to the Speaker of the House and laid before the House without undue delay. Pratt and Allen both said they would only appear before the PAC if the purported audit on urban renewal completed by Bastian is tabled in Parliament. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Eleuthera police are investigating a traffic accident that left one man dead over the weekend. According to police reports, the man, who is in his mid-50s, was riding his bicycle on Queens Highway in Governor's Harbor shortly after 8 p.m. when he was struck by a Ford truck driven by a 24-year-old man. The victim was rushed to the island's local clinic where he was pronounced dead. The driver of the truck is assisting police with their investigations. When NB12 returns, COB's council chairman on a potential tuition increase. Stay with us.